Hello, 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 and welcome back to Movies That Pop. I'm the Kernel. Here's what popped up in theaters this week.
What if there was a place?
Dad, I just need you to look at this. Does it look weird?
A secret place where nothing was impossible.
You're not saying this!
It was a place where the best and the brightest people in the world came together to actually change it.
Why? Did something happen over there?
You want to go?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do want to go there. Take me. Please take me to this magical place, Tomorrowland, so that I may spend 2 hours in its glory. I really, really wanted to like this one, and I'll tell you something. I don't just like it. I love it. But I love it like you love that older brother with the track and field scholarship to an Ivy League school who got injured his freshman year, lost the scholarship, moved back home, and then 3 months later pawned your new bike to support his OxyContin habit. It's like, dude, I love you. I'll always love you. You're the only brother I've got, and you inspired me like no one else could. But you've got some serious problems, and I just wish I could fix them because I want you to be perfect. I need you to be perfect. Whoa, okay. I realize I've gone pretty dark already, so I'll wait a second for you to grab a tissue. This is usually the part of the show where I cut to the chase and tell the casual viewers point blank whether they should see the movie so that they can go about their lives and we can remain and talk about the movie in depth like adults. Here's as point blank as I can get on this issue. Whenever someone asks me if they should see Tomorrowland, my answer usually sounds something like this. Well, no. I mean, I love it. But for you, I know you value my opinion, and I want my credibility to, and usually at that point, they say something like, yeah, hey, you sound kind of crazy. Are you sure you're okay? And I say, I'm crazy! I'm crazy! You're the one talking to a bag of popcorn! All right, let's get into this. We'll start with the reasons to be excited about this movie. And that starts with the director, Brad Bird. Yeah! The cast includes some of my favorites, like George Clooney and Hugh Laurie, and the score. Oh, the score is provided by the greatest film composer in the business right now, Michael Giacchino. And let me tell you right now, they all do great work in Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland tells the story of Casey Newton, played with plucky optimism by an adorable Britt Robertson. Casey encounters negativity, paranoia, and alarm at every turn in her life and does her best to try to change things for the better, even if it means breaking a few laws like sabotaging the equipment that is about to put her NASA engineer father out of a job. One day, she is gifted with a magic pin, seemingly out of nowhere, and when she touches it, she finds herself transported, though only virtually it turns out, to a land of wonders like gleaming architecture, flying trains, swimming pools suspended in midair, and shuttles leaving daily for trips across the galaxy. This sequence is truly magical to behold, and Michael Giacchino's score builds the moment with majestic horns, and Casey gapes around, her eyes filled with glee. It's in this scene that the movie makes a grand promise to the audience. I wish the movie kept that promise. In order to go to this Valhalla of technical marvels, she must team up with the person who gave her the pin, a charming young girl named Athena, who gets more interesting each time you learn something new about her. This all leads us eventually to George Clooney. Now, Clooney is always at his best when he looks like he's having fun, and you can definitely feel his buy-in here. Frank Walker, his character, was, like Casey, an optimistic dreamer and inventor, and he once lived in Tomorrowland before he was kicked out. Now, he's still butthurt about that, and he's become a hermit until Athena puts him with Casey, and he once again grows inspired enough to try and save the world. So much of this movie works. The performances, the score, were presented with so many things that you truly have never seen before, summed up in a beautifully shot and edited coda at the very end of the movie. There is also a hilarious scene inside a comics/memorabilia store that sets up one of the best action scenes in the movie, and Brad Bird knows how to stage an action scene. It's just a pity that there aren't more of them. Tomorrowland is definitely a place I was dying to go. Pity that we never really end up going there. And this is where the movie starts to lose me a little bit. Where, as much as I love the experience of watching the movie, I just can't defend it against certain criticisms because they're absolutely true. The disappointment at what our characters find when they finally arrive in Tomorrowland can't be understated. I want to see more of the legend. The Tomorrowland that all of the characters keep talking about. And they do talk about it an awful lot. In fact, there is a lot of telling instead of showing going on in this movie. We're told the story of how Tomorrowland came to be, but not shown it. We're given snippets of a really interesting relationship between Frank and Athena, but not shown the real meat of it. We're told that Frank was kicked out, but we are not shown how or why, and we are given criminally little information about Hugh Laurie's character and how he came to be who he is, although he shows up very near the end to suddenly be important to the story, and he gives a long speech explaining everything. So when you take out all of the scenes that should be there but aren't, what are you left with? You're left with a story whose elements are fascinating, but whose plot is unimaginative. It's not even a chase so much as a series of steps. Our characters go from one vehicle to another, never experiencing any major setbacks, just going from a catapult to a teleporter to a rocket into space, then back down to Earth. It just seems like a lot of steps in one direction rather than an adventure with unexpected setbacks and pitfalls. So the movie left me wanting more, but not in a good way. It arouses the imagination, inspires the heart, and implies a lot more story than it actually tells. You want to just ask the filmmakers for one more rewrite. Like, hey guys, show me that scene that they just talked about. And I want to know more about why this person behaved that way, and so on and so forth. This is a frustrating picture because there's a lot there to love, and it has merit, but it's just not complete. It's not a whole movie. I want to give the movie credit for this. The parts that I'm saying are omitted are not omitted because they're saving the answers for the sequel, like so many other huge budget movies these days. They use the fact that they're trying to build a franchise as an excuse to release incomplete movies, and I hate that. But that's not what happened here. I honestly think they omitted these parts of the story because they thought that the movie didn't need them. They thought they could just tell us about these things and we wouldn't want to see them happen. And that's just a major swing and a miss, because I was really invested in these people, in this place, and I wanted to see it all. I still want to go to Tomorrowland. This wasn't the Tomorrowland movie I was promised. It's not the Tomorrowland movie that I wanted, but it's the only Tomorrowland movie that I'm gonna get, and that's just gonna have to be enough. As you know, here at Movies That Pop, we use bags of popcorn to illustrate how I feel about the viewing experience of the film. An extra large bag of popcorn is our highest rating, while the lowest rating is an empty bag. There's so much to love about this movie that I can guarantee you a decent portion of entertainment. But as I've said, there's so much missing that it would be unfair to describe the portion as large. So I give Tomorrowland a medium bag of popcorn. I agree, it's not perfect, and I won't argue with you about its flaws, but maybe, just maybe, if you see this film, you might love it the way I do. Alright, that does it for Movies That Pop. Remember, if you liked what you saw, don't forget to leave us a comment below and tell us all about it, or merely click thumbs up to voice your approval. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss a review. That does it for Movies That Pop. I'm the Kernel.